know that West Virginia has something to say. They wanted to be here with us tonight. We got folks coming from the southern part of the state because we know they strong. Where my people from the south? Where my southern folks from? Represent, right? We got people coming from the northern part of the state. We got Morgantown and Clarksburg represented. And here I stand in Huntington. And we damn sure know Charleston is coming out, right? Y'all showing up. Woo! Let me hear you. Let me hear you. So, we are going to get this event kicked off first with one of our young folks, right? Because where's our future? It's in our children. So I'm calling Mr. Kingston Price to the stage. Where is Mr. Kingston Price? He is going to literally get us kicked off with a bang. The folks can crowd around. Are y'all ready for him? Are y'all ready for him? Ready? All right. Kingston, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Kingston. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a full program, so we're going to keep it going. We want to thank Kingston for starting us off with a bang, right? Can we give him a little bit more love here? Yes, Kingston Price. Again, my name is Jennifer Wells. I'll be helping to MC tonight. Oh, okay. Before I get any further, Kingston has a gift. Because, see, here's one thing I know about West Virginia. I chose West Virginia. West Virginia also chose me. And the reason that happened is because the giving spirit and the giving soul of the folks that keep this state running. This is what West Virginia really is. So Kingston came with gifts for all of us. Not everybody's going to be able to get one, but some lucky person out in this audience will. So Kingston has some T-shirts. I'll let him toss it out. I will also continue. All right. We're going to toss a couple out. Let it go. Woo! Who's got one next? Who's coming in? You all are going to want these T-shirts 20 years from now when you can say, Kingston touched this T-shirt and threw it to me. There you go. All right. So as Kingston continues to toss his T-shirts, all right, you got another one? You might want to send over this side. I'm going to keep us moving along. Woo! I see a whole nother group of folks that are joining in this solidarity. Welcome, New Georgia Project. Welcome, New Georgia Project. Welcome to West Virginia. Because what? West Virginia's got something to say too, though. All right now. All right. So I want to give a few housekeeping tips before I invite the next speaker up. The state legislature, the building itself is open for folks that would need to use the restroom. They only ask that you go into the security points, which are actually around this courtyard on both this side and on that side. So if folks that need to use the restroom you can just walk around to the security doors of the legislature and you should be able to enter with no problem. I also wanted to say that we love our Capitol complex and we want to make certain that it stays as beautiful as we found it. And so there are receptacles all across the area that we're in. Please use them. And also there is food and there is water. I know y'all smelt it when you came in. The fantastic Them Two Brothers, I absolutely love this barbecue, is offered over on my left side, which I think is stage right. I'm not good with theatrics, but stage right. All right, I'm good. Okay, so I'm going to bring the next speaker up because we're going to keep this party rolling. Let me just say the lineup today is inspirational. It is warming. It is inspiring. All the words. I'm actually at a loss for words for who is showing up today and showing out today from West Virginia. So my first speaker that's going to kick us off, where is Miss Irvin? Where is Miss Shakira Irvin? I welcome Shakira up. She is my sister from the Southern County, from Mercer, from Bluefield. And I know she got something to say, so I'm just going to hand this mic over.
Hello, everybody. My name is Shakira Irvin. I am a proud organizer with Our Future West Virginia. I am from Bluefield, which is the blackest city in West Virginia. This past legislative session and this state house behind you, when we were discussing how the black community in West Virginia had been disproportionately impacted and devastated by COVID, one of the legislators referred to black communities in West Virginia as imaginary. He thought that the fact that black communities would even exist in this state is just something made up. And when he said it, it reminded me of a quote from the novelist Ralph Ellison. He said, "I am invisible, you understand, simply because people choose not to see me." And we in this state, the black community in this state knows what it's like to feel invisible. We have seen on the state and on the federal level legislation be proposed, legislation be passed that refuses to see us, refuses to see our needs. It refuses to see the disparities in health care, in education, in wealth. It refuses to even see or acknowledge our history and all the parts that we have played in American history, because black history is not a divisive topic, it is American history. However, in November, thanks to some of our people from the New Georgia Project, whether they wanted to see us or not, black voters showed up. And we showed out. And now they are trying to still not see it. They are trying to make us invisible again through these type of legislation designed to suppress our vote. And in this redistricting cycle, there are state houses all over this country that are sitting down trying to figure out, how are we going to minimize the vote of the black community? How are we going to chop or pack their districts to water down their votes? Well, today I come from Bluefield, and I want everyone to know that West Virginia black communities are not imaginary, and our black votes matter. And that is the reason why we, along with 75% of other West Virginians, we support the For the People Act. And we want to let our senator know that the For the People Act and the John Lewis Voting Act, they are not the same, they are not interchangeable, and we need both of them. And we are watching. Most importantly, we are watching. We have been knocking doors, and we have been supporting whether we felt supported for years. But in this cycle, in this year, in this moment, we want to let West Virginia, we want to let the nation, and we want to let Senator Joe Manchin know that black voters matter. We are watching, and we have something to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Shakira. I promised today, ready? I'm not going to hold space because there's too many powerful voices that need this space and can hold it all on their own. In this moment, I want to introduce my sister, Delegate Danielle Walker. She's a hero, yes. She deserves every bit of the applause and support because she stands up and fights for us every day, in every way, in all of her. She gives all of her. We love you. I'm standing here with you, and I'm holding this mic with you.
And I love each and every one of you. Good afternoon. Oh, we got to take some of this off. Come on, Black Voters Matter. I said good afternoon. I am Delegate Danielle Walker, your only female black public legislator in both houses in the state of West Virginia. Mountaineers are free and we are one. And I stand here today with a heavy heart. I stand here today with my youngest son, Devin Walker, as I gained a heavenly guardian angel on Saturday when my oldest, 23 years young, lost his battle to leukemia. I stand here today because today is his golden birthday. He would have been 24 on June 24th. So we need to give ourselves a round of applause because my King is shining down on each and every one of us today. See, it is because of my kings I put my name on the ballot. See, it's because of my kings I stand uncomfortable. You understand? So I'm going to take my time with this because there's some things that we need to say and there's some things we need to know. We matter and our numbers are great. And when we stand together from across the United States, because I am an American, democracy is for me. I am a patriot. I am a taxpayer. I am a voter. I represent all of my constituents. But I don't want equality no more. That was 2000 late. We stand here today because we want equity. And the suppression and the oppression will no longer be the depression on we the people. All right, black people. We took that freedom ride 60 years ago. You burned our buses. You killed us in the streets. But today we took it to the streets and we took it to the highways and the byways because it's about us. Don't tell me nothing about the power of a black woman. I stand here today. I ain't angry. I am the strength of my ancestors, Ashe. You want it, you got it. Set in a mansion, you may be the most powerful in D.C. But let me tell you something. Just as you got that title to represent that people, we the people, you can earn that pink slip in 2024 too. Don't be afraid to register to vote. Vote in every election. Don't be afraid to ring the phone. My number, 304-702-0647. He has it in his hand, and if you ring it, I'm answering. Even through my storm, I was gifted and privileged and honored to represent the people. And it's each and every one of you, despite your race, your gender, your sexuality, your socioeconomic class. If you don't have a religion at all, you have a space with Delegate Walker. I don't care if it's your unemployment. I don't care if you're behind bars. You have a place with Delegate Walker. See, you can call me in the midnight hour, and I'm going to pray before I answer the phone, but I'm going to be there. See, I don't need to go to the police academy to see what they're doing. I'm in the jails and the prisons to see what they're doing is the right thing to do. See, we need programs after people get out of jail. And we need these people to know that you can register to vote and you can put your name on the ballot. So we the people, black voters matter. We didn't say we were the only ones that matter, but we said we matter. You asked for Stacey Abrams, you have them here in West Virginia. Danielle Walker, Katanya Hart, Jennifer Wells, Shakira Irvin, Crystal Good, Takaya Smith. Don't tell me we need Stacey Abrams because you got them right here. Ashe, we are the strength of our ancestors. You can't break us because you didn't make us. And we ain't going nowhere. So I stand with each and every one of you. And we're going to do a declaration. It's going to be short today. And after everything I say, we're going to say Black Voters Matter. Because they need to hear is in that building, and they need to hear that we coming on the highways to go to D.C. So we're going to practice on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, Black Voters Matter. I need y'all to say it from deep down inside. You know, when you was in church on Sunday morning. You understand? This is our praise and worship. This is our declaration. We gonna name it and claim it right here, right now, in the state of West Virginia. You thought that black people didn't live here. I'm blacker than black, black. I'm blacker than black, black. So we're going to get that Crown Act passed in West Virginia. And we're going to get that Fairness Act passed in West Virginia. Because we're here and our numbers matter. Don't forget, after everything I say, you're going to say Black Voters Matter. Y'all ready? We will register to vote. Black Voters Matter. All right. We're going to put our names on the ballot. Black Voters Matter. We're going to vote in every election. Black Voters Matter. We're going to canvass for every candidate who comes in our neighborhood, and we do the town halls, not them telling us what they going to do. Black Voters Matter. And we're going to make the folks that we put in office accountable. Because why? Black Voters Matter. Good afternoon. Welcome to wild and wonderful West Virginia. I am Delegate Danielle Walker. One love. Y'all didn't make me take off my shoes.
That's when you know you're preaching. We understand, sister, for you to be here today, and we know what day this is. We know this is hard for you. We want you to know that we're standing with you, not just as a delegate, but as a black woman, as a mother, as a citizen. We love you. We want you to know that we love you, right? We want to cover you with prayer. We want to cover you with good thoughts. We want to cover you and ask love and light. We know this is a difficult challenge, but you to be here and stand in the gap is a testament of your leadership, of your courage, of your resilience, but we want you to take care of you. And thank you both for coming out here today, right? We love you. Let's tell her on the count of 3, we love you. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. We love you!
Yes. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
You got it.
I'm sorry about your...
Oh, we need a picture.
Oh, okay, come on.
Oh, we want you in.
He like moving. I'm not pulling that.
Thank you, Delegate Walker. Without further ado, I'm going to bring up our next speaker. We are honored in this resurrection of the Freedom Ride of 2021, but we have a voice from the Freedom Ride of 1961. And we welcome her graciously, Miss Joan Browning.
Well, I was originally scheduled to follow my friend from the 60s, Reverend Ron English. I've done that before. I know how to do that. But Delegate Walker, I don't know how to follow her. I should just give her my time and let her carry on. But I bring you greetings, Black Votes Matter Freedom Ride for Voting Rights. Thank you for including West Virginia in your journey. Thank you, too, for remembering the 1961 Freedom Rides. In the 1960s Civil Rights Movement, we sang this song. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. Oh, Lord, we've struggled so long, We must be free. We must be free. 60 years ago, we Freedom Riders challenged a reluctant United States federal government to enforce sacrificially obtained Supreme Court rulings and ICC, Interstate Commerce Commission, orders. White supremacist state governments that elected themselves by refusing the right to vote to African American citizens said of those federal decrees, "You and what army is going to make us?" So 436 of us in 62 small groups were that army. As historian Raymond Arsenault wrote, Freedom Riders appeared to court martyrdom with a reckless disregard for personal safety or civic order. None of the obstacles placed in their way, not widespread censure, not political and financial pressure, not arrest and imprisonment, not even the threat of death, seemed to weaken their commitment to nonviolent struggle. Indeed, one of the most poignant moments in the 2011 documentary about Freedom Riders, U.S. Attorney General Robert Kennedy asked his point man, John Siegenthaler, "Who the hell is Diane Nash?" Kennedy told Siegenthaler to order Diane Nash to end the Freedom Rides. He recalls a phone call that night. "And soon I was shouting, 'Young lady, do you understand what you're doing? Do you understand you're going to get somebody killed?' After a long pause, Diane Nash replied, 'Sir, you should know, we all signed our last will and testament last night. We know someone will be killed, but we cannot let violence overcome nonviolence.' And so it was our custom to write our last will and testament the night before going on the Freedom Ride. We were determined to sit together, even if it cost us our lives." Freedom Riders were arrested in many places and on various charges. On my Freedom Ride, we were told we were being charged with conspiracy to overthrow the government of the state of Georgia. We were kind of disappointed when the charges were changed to refusing to obey a police officer and disturbing the peace. So Freedom Riders were jailed, some for as long as 60 days. Because I was the only white female on my Freedom Ride, I was in jail in a cell all by myself. Many historians are intrigued by the collection of notes we wrote to each other. We wrote on paper towels and toilet paper, and these are in the archives at Emory University. But we won. We were the nonviolent army that took down those white and colored signs that had blighted the walls of many bus and train stations for decades. What put a white Southern woman on the Albany Freedom Ride? Georgia enforced laws that made it a crime for white and black friends to socialize. Nevertheless, Black Payne College drew us together once a year for a weekend called the Student Christian Weekend. I attended the one in 1961. There, I met for the first time black students, and I found I admired them and wanted them to befriend me, which they did. They led me into the sit-in movement, which preceded the Freedom Rides. On my first sit-in demonstration with Payne College students in Augusta, Georgia, the Payne student leader was stabbed in the chest. Watching his blood puddle beneath him on the sidewalk made it clear to me that protesting racial segregation was serious, even deadly business. After my college scholarships were revoked because I worshiped at Wesley Chapel AME Church, I moved to Atlanta and found the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. These were people I wanted to be like, people I wanted to be with, people who remained lifelong friends, especially Julian Bond. And that friendship required us to break the state laws against fraternization. Today, you are taking a second Freedom Ride into West Virginia. We did not come here in 1961. We didn't need to. But you and we stood on the shoulders of the 1947 journey of reconciliation. Those 1947 Freedom Riders took a train from Cincinnati through the Mountain State to Roanoke. They seem to have spent an unremarkable night in West Virginia, April 19th, 1947. One of my neighbors in Greenbrier County, who came to public attention as one of the hidden figures whose math genius helped get men to the moon and back, writes about her experience in public transportation. In May 1937, 19-year-old Catherine Coleman, later Johnson, graduated from our joint alma mater, West Virginia State, with double majors in math and French. She returned to her parents' home in White Sulphur Springs while she searched for a job. Carnegie Elementary School in Marion, Virginia, called her to teach. Hear this from her memoir. Just before I left, Mama issued this warning. Remember, you're going to Virginia. In our minds, Virginia was the real South. So in other words, she meant, remember your place and act accordingly. I replied flippantly, well, tell Virginia I'm coming. Soon I was aboard a bus and on my way. Just as Mama had warned, it didn't take long for me to realize I had crossed the state line into Virginia. The bus came to a stop abruptly, and the driver shouted some orders. Negroes to the back of the bus. We had been interspersed with whites on the bus, but as routinely as getting off at the appropriate stop, all of the Negroes stood and moved to the back, and a few white passengers moved closer to the front. I watched in stunned silence and followed suit. Segregation certainly was not new to me, but I was not accustomed to such blatant racist and rude behavior. I heard similar stories in interviews with African Americans in Greenbrier County. Mrs. Pearl Carter was one of several who told me that when they took the train from White Sulphur Springs to Richmond, they would board the nice or the white passenger car. 7 miles toward Richmond at the top of Allegheny Mountain, which is the Virginia state line, they had to get up and move to the colored passenger car. On their return trip, they rode through Virginia in the colored car to the top of Allegheny Mountain, and then joyously moved to the white passenger car. It was just those few miles, Mrs. Carter said, but it meant all the world to us to be first-class passengers, even for a few miles. So West Virginia got it right, at least in public transportation, as far back as the 1930s. Suffrage is also a constant struggle. Thank you for carrying on that struggle to assure that black votes count. In one of those Southern Byzantine stories, my first vote, when I was 18, was monitored by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. In a test to see whether our votes were counted in that heavily Democratic place, my mother and several others and I voted for the Republican Richard Nixon. Even with FBI monitoring, 14 election officials were charged in federal court with voter fraud, and 4 of them served time in federal prison. So suffrage, the right to vote and how my vote count, has also been my constant struggle. Sadly, it is entirely appropriate that you include West Virginia in this Black Votes Matter freedom ride. West Virginia is now firmly in the voter suppression camp. The majority, even supermajority, of our state elected officials, our 3 congresspersons and our U.S. senators, are on the side of shrinking the pool of citizens allowed to vote, and for those who are allowed to vote, to have their votes counted. It was not always so. In voting, as in public transportation, for many years, West Virginia provided leadership